Welcome to the YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub, your one-stop solution for expert guidance, best practices, and actionable knowledge in the world of contact centers. Explore, learn, and enhance contact center skills. Welcome. This presentation provides a structured guide on the key factors to consider when setting shrinkage targets in a call center. We'll explore how workforce size, service level commitments, customer experience goals, financial efficiency, and historical performance all play a role. The aim is to ensure that shrinkage targets are realistic, achievable, and fully aligned with business objectives, driving both operational stability and long-term success. When setting shrinkage targets, it's important to begin with industry standards and benchmarks. Most call centers operate within a typical shrinkage range of 25 to 35%. Targets below 20% are considered aggressive and can place significant stress on operations, often leading to higher occupancy and potential burnout. On the other hand, shrinkage levels around 40% usually signal deeper challenges, such as persistent absenteeism or ineffective planning practices. Industry type also plays a defining role. Business process outsourcing centers, for example, often experience higher shrinkage, typically between 30 and 35%, due to frequent training sessions, client escalations, and a more dynamic workforce. In contrast, in-house service centers usually maintain lower shrinkage levels, averaging 25 to 30%, since they face fewer external dependencies and can enforce greater stability in their staffing. By benchmarking against these norms and understanding where your organization falls, leaders can set more realistic and sustainable shrinkage targets that balance efficiency, employee well-being, and customer satisfaction. Customer experience goals, such as CSAT and Net Promoter Score, are a major driver of shrinkage targets. When the business sets ambitious customer satisfaction or NPS objectives, shrinkage levels must be managed more tightly. Lower shrinkage ensures that more agents are available, wait times remain short, and customers consistently receive prompt, high-quality service. On the other hand, if the organization prioritizes cost efficiency over experience, slightly higher shrinkage may be tolerated. This trade-off means fewer agents available at any given time, which can increase wait times but reduce overall staffing costs. Ultimately, aligning shrinkage targets with customer experience strategy is essential because every percentage point directly impacts service levels, satisfaction, and long-term loyalty. Service level agreements play a critical role in determining shrinkage targets. When an organization is bound by strict SLAs, such as answering 80% of calls within 0 seconds, there is very little margin for error. In such cases, shrinkage targets must be set lower to ensure enough agents are available to consistently meet response time commitments and avoid costly breaches. Conversely, when SLAs are more relaxed, the operation can allow slightly higher shrinkage levels without significant risk. This flexibility provides room for additional training, meetings, or other non-productive activities while still maintaining acceptable service levels. In short, the tighter the SLA, the more disciplined the shrinkage target needs to be, ensuring contractual obligations are met and customer trust is preserved. Call volume and seasonality are key considerations when setting shrinkage targets. During peak seasons, such as holidays, sales campaigns, or promotional periods, customer demand surges significantly. In these high-volume scenarios, shrinkage targets must be kept lower to maximize agent availability and ensure service levels are not compromised. Even small increases in shrinkage during these times can lead to long queues, higher abandon rates, and customer dissatisfaction. In contrast, during off-peak periods when call volumes are lighter, operations have more flexibility. Slightly higher shrinkage can be tolerated, allowing time for training, coaching, or other non-productive activities without negatively impacting overall service performance. By calibrating shrinkage targets in line with seasonal demand, organizations can strike the right balance between workforce efficiency, customer satisfaction, and business cost management. Workforce size and attrition levels play a pivotal role in setting shrinkage targets. In smaller teams, even minor fluctuations in absenteeism can create major swings in shrinkage. This volatility makes it essential to set lower shrinkage targets, ensuring that customer service is not disrupted when just a few agents are unavailable. In environments with high attrition, the challenge becomes even greater. Frequent staff turnover leads to constant onboarding, training, and coverage gaps. To safeguard stability, shrinkage targets must again be kept tighter, allowing the operation to absorb these disruptions without jeopardizing service levels. In both cases, whether due to team size or attrition, lower shrinkage targets act as a buffer, helping maintain operational consistency, protect service commitments, and reduce pressure on remaining agents. Another critical consideration is the balance between planned and unplanned shrinkage. Planned activities, such as training sessions, team meetings, or coaching, are easier to forecast and schedule in advance. Because of this predictability, they allow for more stable shrinkage targets, as workforce managers can build these events directly into staffing models. Unplanned shrinkage, on the other hand, is far less predictable. Absenteeism, sudden system downtime, or last-minute emergencies can cause unexpected gaps in coverage. To account for this uncertainty, organizations need to adopt more conservative shrinkage targets. By planning for a buffer, call centers can protect service levels even when unplanned disruptions occur. In essence, understanding the proportion of planned versus unplanned shrinkage helps leaders create targets that are both realistic and resilient in the face of daily operational challenges. Multi-channel complexity is another important factor in determining shrinkage targets. In omni-channel centers, where customers are served through voice, chat, and email, the workload can be distributed more flexibly. For example, if chat and email channels absorb some of the demand, shrinkage targets for the voice team can be set slightly lower, since customer traffic is spread across multiple platforms. However, in voice-only environments, there is far less flexibility. Every interaction depends directly on live agent availability, making the operation highly sensitive to shrinkage. In such cases, targets must be more rigid and conservative to ensure that calls are answered quickly and service commitments are consistently maintained. By accounting for channel complexity, organizations can fine-tune shrinkage targets in a way that aligns with both customer expectations and operational realities. Technology and automation readiness also have a direct impact on shrinkage targets. Advanced tools like AI-driven forecasting and real-time dashboards empower workforce managers to make proactive staffing adjustments. This level of visibility and agility allows operations to adopt tighter shrinkage targets with confidence, knowing that they can respond quickly to unexpected changes in demand or agent availability. In addition, customer-facing technologies such as chatbots and self-service platforms help deflect routine inquiries, reducing overall call volumes. With fewer live interactions to manage, organizations can tolerate slightly higher shrinkage without breaching service-level agreements or compromising customer experience. In short, the more mature an organization's technology and automation capabilities, the greater the flexibility in setting shrinkage targets, transforming them from rigid constraints into strategic levers for efficiency and service excellence. Financial and cost efficiency goals are another cornerstone in defining shrinkage targets. When organizations adopt aggressive cost control strategies, they often set lower shrinkage targets. This approach minimizes the need for overtime and keeps the cost per call in check, ensuring labor budgets remain under control. At the same time, leaders must balance financial discipline with operational realities. Overly strict shrinkage targets can lead to understaffing, risking SLA penalties, longer wait times, and potential revenue loss. That's why many organizations aim for balanced targets, ones that keep staffing costs efficient while still protecting service levels and customer satisfaction. Ultimately, shrinkage targets should not be viewed in isolation, but as part of a broader return on investment strategy that safeguards both profitability and customer loyalty. Historical performance data is a powerful guide when setting shrinkage targets. By analyzing the past 6 to 12 months of trends, particularly the relationship between shrinkage, service level adherence, customer satisfaction scores, and abandon rates, leaders can identify patterns and better understand the true impact of shrinkage on both operations and customer experience. Rather than imposing drastic one-time reductions, it is more effective to set progressive targets that evolve over time. This gradual approach allows teams to adapt smoothly, reducing resistance and ensuring operational stability. It also provides room for continuous improvement, as insights from past performance feed into smarter, more sustainable target setting. In essence, learning from history enables organizations to set shrinkage goals that are not only data-driven, but also achievable and aligned with long-term business success. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next video.